This week on the Gift of Gaming podcast, we're looking at Apex Legends being hacked live, the Star Wars Battlefront Collection ruining our childhood, and Dragon's Dogma 2's got nothing but mixed reviews. It's all on the Gift of Gaming podcast this week on the March News Edition. What's up, everybody? It's me, your host, Darren Wade, and today I'm joined by the anchor team extraordinaire, Mr. Xbox Games Pass himself, Luke Maycock.
What's up, Darren?
And of course, the console-hating, PC-playing, lore-seeking, full-time Canadian himself, Chris Robbins.
What's going on?
How are you guys? Your timing is perfect, Chris. Yeah. How can I send these mics? How are you guys doing?
Good, man. Good. Yeah, a little on the tired side.
Playing games?
Yeah, and watching hockey. Big game last night.
Did you win?
Yeah.
Nice.
Although we had like a 5-0 lead, and then they started catching up. And the Leafs, man, they love to blow a huge lead. They're infamous for it. So I was freaking out. Even in the last 2 minutes, it was up to like 5-3, and I was like, oh, we're gonna fuck this up like last weekend.
Why can't I keep it together? Are the Leafs a good team? Mediocre team?
They are, they make it to the playoffs like every year, but they haven't won the cup since the 60s, I think.
Okay.
So a very long time. Because they're infamous choke artists. They have one of the biggest and loudest fan bases, tons of money, tons of superstars. But yeah, they always choke in the first round. We joke that they'd rather be golfing, so they just like throw the game.
Go out golfing?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I know what it's nice that your team's good. I was hoping you'd have a really bad team and I could share in the fact that I'm a Wigan Athletic fan and support bad teams.
I can talk about the Canadian rugby team.
Hey, well that, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I haven't heard about
We're
that
awful.
in a while. Yeah. How about you, Luke? How you keeping?
Good. Yeah, not too bad. Having a nice old weekend, getting some game time in, getting some chill time in. Playing a bit.
What are you playing?
I've just finished Dredge.
Oh,
finally played Dredge.
Welcome.
Yeah, what a great game Dredge was.
Good game. I didn't blow my socks off. I loved like everything about it individually, but I guess together it didn't like blow me away. Really liked the ending. Like the ending was cool. But no, it was good. It was one of those things. I'm glad I played it.
It was an easy game. It was a super casual, like
very casual. Just a really simple, quick game loop, and that was what I needed. I think.
And the loop was quite, at least for me, was quite addictive. Like
yeah.
I found myself much like playing Civilization. I'd often be like, all right, I'll end it here and go to bed, and then I'd like switch it up and like, oh wait, no, my crab pots, they'll be full. I'll go and get them, and then all of a sudden you're out again, like
Yep.
Speaking of game loop, I've been playing Played Up all weekend.
That looks amazing.
God,
I'm so surprised
good.
when you guys put that up in the chat. So you never came across Played Up before?
I've seen it. I was just like, oh, this is like I saw it in passing, and I was like, ooh, some like crappy looking Overcooked knockoff. And I looked into it a bit more, and like it had huge reviews. I was like, oh, this is a roguelike. Or Overcooked. Yeah. I was like, this is actually fucking amazing.
Your cup of tea completely.
It's so good.
It's like a year or two ago, it was huge. Like a really big thing in streaming circles and stuff like that. I played it a bit back then.
Oh, it looks like it'd be, because I was a big fan of Overcooked, man. The people I played Overcooked with didn't like me very much, but I loved playing Overcooked. I'm the guy that's shouting, head chef shouting at everybody, getting their shit done. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they didn't like me.
Where's the fucking lamb?
Yeah, me and my sister almost had a big falling out one Christmas. It was very funny. So you put up the trailer for it the other day, and I was like, fuck, how have I never... Again, I'm not on Steam. I'm not a PC playing console hating person like yourself.
It's on all consoles. I even checked before I put it up.
Is it on?
It's on all consoles.
Now I'd say it would be, yeah.
I always check that because I know you guys would just be like, oh, who gives a shit about Steam? None of us play PC. Like, it's on everything.
Chris, I've got a Steam Deck. You can share things with me.
Yeah, that's true.
Is it cross-platform?
I don't know.
Oh, I wish it was cross-platform. That'd be amazing.
It might be, and there's probably ambitions for it, but I don't know.
Because I think I need, once I finish this rebirth cycle that I'm on, I'll need something, and Played Up looked like it would be just my cup of tea. Just a shout about how angry I am that I'm finished rebirth and there's no more Final Fantasy to play,
Organize your restaurant, get your power-ups and stuff like that.
Yeah, it looks great.
It's a great game.
It's fantastic. We got some news. We were looking at some new stuff from March. We can kick it off if you guys would like. We got a good one with Apex. which I found quite interesting. Yeah. And you guys being bigger into the esports scene than I would be, this would be a fun one. So this is coming from TechCrunch by Lorenzo Franceschi Bicciari, I think. I've probably butchered that surname, but there you go. Apex Legends hacker said he hacked tournament games, quote, for fun. So on Sunday, March 17th, the world of video games was shaken by a hacking and cheating scandal. During a competitive esports tournament of Apex Legends, a free-to-play shooter video game played by hundreds of thousands of players daily, hackers appeared to insert cheats into the games of two well-known streamers, effectively hacking the players mid-game. The incidents forced the organisers of Apex Legends Global Series Tournament, which has a $5 million total prize pool, to postpone the event indefinitely, quote, due to the competitive integrity of the series being compromised. As the mid-game hacks were underway, the game's chatbot displayed messages on screen that appeared to come from the hackers themselves. Quote, Apex Hacking Global Series by Destroyer 2009 and Random.
Sorry, 1 second. Did you say it was postponed indefinitely?
According to this, yeah.
As in $5 million prize pool tournament postponed indefinitely.
Just not happening this year, maybe.
Okay.
That'd be my.
Well, it definitely just means that they're not going to put a time on it, right?
Yeah, there's no foreseeable future.
Yeah, so they're probably they probably got to fix them hacks, you know. So in an interview with TechCrunch, the hacker, Destroyer 2009, took credit for the hack, saying that he did it, quote, just for fun, and with the goal of forcing Apex Legends developers to fix the vulnerability he exploited. The hackers sent the Apex Legends community into a frenzy, with countless streamers reacting to the incidents. Some players suggested that Apex Legends is not safe to play and that every player could potentially be at risk. That could apply to not only in-game but having their computers hacked too. Destroyer 2009 declined to provide details of how he allegedly pulled off hacking the two players mid-game or which specific vulnerabilities he exploited. Quote, I really don't want to go into the details until everything is fully patched and everything goes back to normal, the hacker said. The only thing Destroyer 2009 said regarding the technique he used was that the vulnerability, quote, has nothing to do with the server and I've never touched anything outside of the Apex process. And that he did not hack the two players' computers directly. The hacks never went outside the game, he said. Destroyer 2009 said he did not report the vulnerability to Respawn, the video game developer that makes Apex Legends, because neither the company nor the game's publisher, Electronic Arts, offer a bug bounty program that financially rewards hackers and researchers for privately reporting security flaws. They know how to patch it without anyone reporting it to them, he said. Talking about the hacks he did during the tournament, Destroyer 2009 said that he went viral, but not many people have used an exploit like that in an absolutely innocent way for players. Just imagine if it wasn't a joke and we didn't put any memes in the cheat. I'm pretty sure you can ruin someone's career if they had a cheat pop up during a tournament, said Destroyer 2009, defending his actions in an attempt to show that he never had malicious intentions. When Destroyer 2009 allegedly hacked one of the players and inserted cheats into their game, a window appeared on the player's screen showing a menu for a tool that can be used to enable different cheats in the game. One of the options in the cheat window was, quote, vote Putin. Interesting. Destroyer 2009 said that the window is part of a real chat software, but not the one that is public, and his menu was slightly modified for the hacks on Sunday. The hacker also said he targeted those specific players who go by Gen Burton and Imperial Hal because, quote, they're just nice guys. Free attention and views for them, he added. On Tuesday, Respawn, the studio that develops Apex Legends, posted a statement on X, formerly Twitter, addressing the incidents. Quote, our teams have deployed the first of a layered series of updates to protect the Apex Legends player community and create a secure experience for everyone, said the statement, which did not provide any details on what was his first update, nor on details of what happened on Sunday. Neither Respawn nor Electronic Arts responded to requests for comment by TechCrunch about the hackers' claims or disputed them. And then it goes into some details about what could have been involved in the hacking, but that's kind of, pretty much it. Crazy stuff. Mid-tournament.
That's
well, yeah, he wanted to get noticed.
Yeah, I don't have a dog in this race. I'm not a big Apex player.
I'm not either, but I got a lot of friends that play, and like when it did happen, it seemed like, I mean, people act like the sky is falling, and it could have been, but like a lot of people advise that you just uninstall the game because if he does have access, I don't know. The big scare was if it was actually through Easy Anti-Cheat and not Apex, because they didn't know at the time. So if Easy Anti-Cheat had an exploit, then like that is root, like kernel level access to every machine that it's on, and almost every video game these days.
Which is so funny you should bring that up, but actually a little paragraph on this article says, Easy Anti-Cheat, the developers of the anti-cheat engine used in Apex Legends and several other games, said in a statement on Monday that it was, quote, confident there is no RCE vulnerability within
I saw this, but confident on the same day it happens is just like they probably just got ChatGPT to write something up that's like, we don't definitively know, but like let's make people comfortable.
Yeah, because
there's no way they would have figured that out that soon either.
So they feign ignorance until they know otherwise.
A good point. I mean, listen, hacking is, I guess in some situations there's ethical hacking to improve securities. In a sense, this appears to be somewhat ethical hacking if he hasn't actually gone in and done anything malicious.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was getting at. I think this is fucking awesome.
Malicious still hurts the business. A lot of people have uninstalled the game.
Yeah.
Won't play the game. He was also like, they didn't go into too much detail of it, but these guys that he did hack, he also gave them free packages, like the in-game packages, like thousands of them.
Oh, really?
Like, yeah.
As a sorry, fellas. Sorry for doing it to
I
you.
guess. I don't know why he did it, but yeah. So,
Just
like, that's malicious towards the game. It's... Yeah, you can't...
But if there's a vulnerability that could be putting the users at risk, and his hack, the whole purpose of it, and the execution of it was to say, hey, look, everybody, this vulnerability exists, and people uninstall because of that. I don't think that's...
But even
no,
like...
this exact same situation happened... Well, I wouldn't say the exact same situation, but very similar situation on Dark Souls. And not just Dark Souls 1, not 2, not 3. The entire Dark Souls suite, because they all used the same like multiplayer like client engine, but there was some sort of exploit where people could get in and execute code on your machine.
Yeah.
People figured out how to do this. And then apparently this guy had been emailing FromSoft for ages, trying to get like, just like, this is an issue. You need to fix this now or close down the service, blah, 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 blah.
I remember this.
And nothing came of it. And like, he didn't hack somebody to prove his point. He just made a proof of concept and made it public in GitHub and just like showed the world. It was like, this is what's happening in Dark Souls right now. And then just immediately From Software shut down all online connections. It was just like, all right, you can't play online.
That would have the same consequences of what this guy did though, no? It's the same thing. He's just making it public that there's an exploit. He's like very by the methods that he used to do it.
Yeah, but he's not hacking at that point. So it's not a federal crime, right? He's not hacking into somebody's PC. He's just proving it's possible. But this other kid hacked into someone, and then like in the U.S., that's federal crime. Like FBI is investigating this now.
Damn. Yeah. Okay. Interesting. Because my thoughts on it were that.
But you got a point with I guess it is similar.
What the effects of the aftermath of what people might do based on it. Yeah. Exactly. And I think with this guy is when I think about the fact that he was able to put up the cheat window that exists in game or whatever else, and clearly have it as a had meme shit in it, whereas. All it takes was some other person who's like, I've got a grudge against fucking, Imperial Han, and I'm live. It'll ruin the dude's career.
Yeah.
And that's what I mean. I mean, I would if it was a esports event and people were just doing like a thing for fun or whatever else. But it's $5 million on the line in this tournament. Now, I'm not saying that's the first place prize, but it says there's a $5 million prize pool. So I'm assuming winning the tournament's a big deal. But yeah, you go live and cheat.
It's not even just that tournament. It's like if suddenly he gets caught. Like if he didn't have that pop up. And the chat spam saying this is like Destroyer 2009 was here.
Yeah.
Nobody would believe him that he got hacked.
Yeah.
He got hacked, and then all his sponsors would drop him. His team would drop him. That's his career.
His reaction was great though in that moment where he was like, I got cheats. There's cheats, and the guy, his teammate, was like, yeah, but I don't know what you're saying. Can you come to this point or not? And he was like, no, I can't play. I'm cheating. Like I can't. If I keep playing, I'm cheating.
Yeah, hats off to just like straight away.
In the moment he copped it, he just like went, well, I don't know what's going on. This is bullshit. I can't participate.
I think there's a quote from him which I didn't read out in the article, but it's just quite funny. What does he say at the very start? Quote, wait, what the fuck? I'm getting hacked, bro. I'm getting hacked.
Which is like, that's a common like kind of meme to throw around in online games anyway, where you're like, this guy's fucking hacking. Or
when they're really good.
He's scripting, or I'm getting DDoSed or whatever. But
when you think of some of the esports games, now I guess this is a vulnerability that exists purely in Respawn's Apex Legends, and not, I'm sure the games are far more secure. But when you think of like the prize pools that are in some competitive gamings out there, that I mean, the guy highlighting that this is a thing that people can do, as you said, I'm like, for me, hacking is especially if it's in someone's computer. But for me, the fact that he hasn't tried to ruin anybody's career, the fact that he's made it very clear this person's getting hacked live on thing, and this is a problem. I mean, for me, that falls under quote unquote ethical hacking, if such a thing does truly exist, you know?
Yeah, it's a.
Nah, I don't know, man.
I think there's something in me that likes it. I don't know. It's maybe some like kind of anarchist kind of strain in me, even though I know like there's definitely a lot of big organizations that have a vested interest and lots of money going into that.
I'd be slow to trust the dude because, you know, I'm leaning more towards he has a pocket full of stolen credit cards too. Like this guy. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, he's kind of putting a big target on his back if that is the case.
Claims to be from Belarus. So can't be expedited anyway. So fuck the FBI in his situation.
Right. Okay.
Safe.
Yeah.
it's an interesting one. This was a interesting story to see pop up.
Well, moving on to a second story that is probably not ethical. Nintendo Switch emulator Yuzu will utterly fold and pay $2.4 million to settle its lawsuit. This is coming from Sean Hollister at The Verge. So just over a week ago, this is kind of early March, Nintendo sued the developers of the leading Nintendo Switch emulator Yuzu for, quote, facilitating piracy at a colossal scale. Now it appears that Yuzu will give up without a fight and give Nintendo everything it wanted, and it affects the Nintendo 3DS emulator Citra as well. According to a joint filing, Tropic Haze has not only agreed to pay $2.4 million to Nintendo, but also says Yuzu is, quote, primarily designed to circumvent and play Nintendo Switch games. The company agrees to be permanently enjoined from working on Yuzu, hosting Yuzu, distributing Yuzu's code or features, hosting websites and social media that promote Yuzu, or doing anything else that circumvents Nintendo's copyright protection. Oh, and it will surrender the Yuzu emu.org domain name to Nintendo, agreed to delete not only its copies of Yuzu, but also, quote, all circumvention tools used for developing or using Yuzu, such as, and it has lots of kind of tools that it's using there, and hand over any, quote, physical circumvention devices and modified Nintendo hardware to Nintendo. It also agrees to not delete any other evidence that infringes Nintendo's IP rights. Yuzu and Citra developer Bunai confirmed in the Yuzu Discord that both Nintendo Switch and Nintendo 3DS emulators are affected. Quote, we write today to inform you that Yuzu and Yuzu support of Citra are being discontinued effective immediately. The quote begins, hello users and Citra fans. We write today to inform you that Yuzu and Yuzu support of Citra are being discontinued effective immediately. Yuzu and its team have always been against piracy. We started the projects in good faith, out of passion for Nintendo and its consoles and games, and we're not intending to cause harm, but we see now that because our projects can circumvent Nintendo's technological protection measures and allow users to play games outside of authorized hardware, they've led to extensive piracy. In particular, we've been deeply disappointed when users have used our software to leak game content prior to its release and ruin the experience for legitimate purchasers and fans.
Nah, man, that wasn't true. They were completely fine with it.
We've come to the decision that we cannot continue to allow this to occur. Piracy was never our intention, and we believe the piracy of video games and on video game consoles should end. Effective today, we'll be pulling our code repositories offline, discontinuing our Patreon accounts and Discord servers, and soon shutting down our websites. We hope our actions will be a small step toward ending piracy of all creators' works. Thank you for your years of support and for understanding our decision.
They sound like they were brainwashed or something, or like there's a gun to their head while they're writing this.
But like when you think of Nintendo lawsuits, they're could very well have been, like, you know,
illegal.
Like is this the first win for Nintendo against emulation?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, like it just doesn't happen.
Well, didn't they absolutely paste the guy to the wall over ROMs? And some guy have a ROM website where you could download the ROMs to put through things like Yuzu, and he got absolutely wrecked.
They actually catch him?
Yeah. He's paying a certain amount every year for the rest of his life.
Oh shit.
To Nintendo. So yeah, this isn't new for them, I guess. So just to continue on, it's not clear if this is the literal end of Yuzu or Citra, since copies of both emulators and their source code are in the wild. Some online supporters specifically mentioned backing up the Yuzu code after Nintendo sued 2 weeks ago.
Oh, this was 100%. They probably had like a contingency plan for this. Like, all that stuff they said, they had to probably because their very expensive lawyer
Legally.
told them to.
Yeah.
Legally.
And it's a 2.4 million, like, you know, it's not pocket change. I'm also not clear on whether this result could impact other emulators beyond Yuzu and Citra. If Yuzu had fought this lawsuit in court, one of the biggest questions would have been whether Yuzu is actually circumventing Nintendo's protections, since the emulator itself does not contain Nintendo's keys. Yuzu is a bring-your-own BIOS emulator, but now Nintendo and Tropic Haze are asking a judge to specifically find that Yuzu circumvents its copyright protections by using those keys, even if it doesn't come with them. Yeah, so it goes on just to talk about some more stuff in the actual case, the case that Nintendo brought to them. But Nintendo strikes again. No one's stealing their games.
No,
No, you just got to reskin them. Call it Power World.
So they seemingly can't do a thing if you do that. Yeah.
Power World Yellow.
This is Nintendo Swatch, actually. It's completely different.
Nintendo.
Yeah, Nintendo Swatch.
Yeah, interesting that it's like that they do say that they are well aware that there's the source codes in the wild. So yeah, that's not the end of.
Yeah, I guess
Can't delete anything off the internet, man.
That's
always there.
And you have to imagine the Yuzu guys knew this and were just like, they just made their legal statement. They like got themselves out of legal hot waters. There's too much pressure.
We're sorry.
Yeah. But their shit is their source code.
It's interesting. Well, I mean, it is kind of from my perspective, it seems kind of a bit of a bullshitty response, because when you think of Yuzu or whatever else, and it's a bring your own bias, like they know what everyone's up to. They've always known what everyone was up to. Like, where are you getting your bias from? Like, I mean, they're not legal. So
we had the same debate recently over, was it RetroArch or something like that? I can't remember, but exact same idea. It's just like, this is to back up the games you already own. Like,
okay. Throw your eyes to the roof. Nintendo strikes again.
Yeah, downloading ROMs is bad. You definitely don't want to go to this website and download from this guy,
because these unfortunately work perfectly with our interface to download your game. Yeah, no, terrible. But yeah, Nintendo's got them 2.4 million. Could be the end of Yuzu as we know it, but it might come back as Zoo or something in the future.
New Zoo.
Yeah, New Zoo, yeah. All right, the next article is, now this one is to do with microtransactions, Chris, but I know there's a PC aspect to this as well. But
I'm not even, I'm not even fazed by the PC aspect, because the PC bullshit with, again, I know what article you're talking about, but it's always the case with new releases. PC games, they're just not optimized.
Yeah.
But did you see Charlie Most Critical's video of him trying to play it on PC? Where he spent 3 hours and it crashed 24 times.
Oh, I didn't see that. No, fuck.
It's
really
bad, man. It's not just not optimized. It doesn't work. And he goes through.
I didn't know that, actually.
He was like, maybe I can lock the FPS at this, tries it again, crashes. Maybe I can turn off ray tracing, tries it again, gets a little further, crashes. It always crashes. He played it for his playtime in the game. At a certain point of the video was like 90 something minutes, and he hadn't got past the start of the game because it just kept crashing on stream. Literally, like, I know people throw around.
Sounds like a him issue though, because there's a lot of people streaming it. So
on PC,
on PC as well.
Most people most people that stream, I would say
on PC.
But so this is in relation to Dragon's Dogma 2 and the mixed reviews it has. So the article I've taken on is the microtransactions aspect of it. It was a little bit of an easier read. We can go into the PC stuff, because I did read an article about the PC information and it was fairly heavy. But this is coming from Kotaku by Willow Rowe. So Capcom's new RPG is facing some fierce criticism in Steam reviews. Dragon's Dogma 2, the sequel to Capcom's 2012 cult RPG, is out now, and critics have been raving with the game's expansive world and intricate systems. But some fans that have purchased the game aren't too happy, and on Steam, user reviews currently have it sitting at a rating of mixed. The cause for many of the more negative responses to the game lie in its microtransactions. There are 21 pieces of DLC for the game that are considered microtransactions.
And remember, this is a single-player game.
Yep. Giving players access to items like life-restoring wake stones, currency in the form of rift crystals, and even the ability to edit your character's appearance. The prices of each microtransaction range from 99 cents to $4.99. Quote, $70 game I could support to ensure fair play for a good game. However, when you also attach bloatware, buy more crystals, and yay to win gifts to a single-player game, writes one Steam reviewer, I cannot in good faith support that. The biggest complaints from those who purchased the game have come down to the existence of these microtransactions in a full-priced single-player game. The idea that this is a pay-to-win tactic and that it locks important customization features behind a paywall. Capcom issued a response to these concerns and other criticism on Steam on March 22nd. The post addresses concerns about crashes and bugs, but a large section is devoted to paid DLC. Capcom reminds players that the majority of the items available to purchase as microtransactions are also available to be obtained in-game. Some players are also spreading this message on social media. The availability of these items in-game hasn't changed the minds of many, as people point out that in-game resources are limited. But this is where we need to talk about the type of game Dragon's Dogma 2 is. It is a game full of design choices that are meant to cause friction and prevent the experience of existing in its world from being overly easy or convenient. The misunderstanding is that people believe it is this way to encourage microtransaction purchases. Rather, Dragon's Dogma 2 is designed to distribute the limited resources in the game at a steady and meaningful pace. Limitations on resources like port keys require you to use them sparingly and carefully consider how you travel through the world. While microtransactions are always questionable, and Dragon Dogma's 2 microtransactions do offer a slightly faster path through the game, they're also pretty easy to ignore. This isn't a pay-to-win scenario where these microtransactions are necessary. In fact, you're better off leaving them alone and playing through the intended experience.
Okay, that article kind of missed the mark on a few of those points. Start off with the waystones or the teleport stones.
Yep.
Like when I don't know who it was being interviewed, but some sort of like designer or artist or I don't know, higher up. They were interviewed about the game, and like they said they don't like fast travel because if your open world game is good enough that, you know, taking the long road, this isn't word for word, just footnotes. Traveling there should be fun and immersive in itself. A game shouldn't need fast travel, so those items are going to be very rare and locked behind resources. But you can pay money for them all of a sudden, which is shady. And the other thing is the character appearance. It's $2, right?
Yep.
But this game lacks the option. You can't delete your save game and you can't create a new one. The only way to create a new character and update your appearance is to disable cloud sync and delete the file manually off your drive.
That's crazy. So they actually have
you can't create a new character and you can't delete your character.
Yeah.
Once you make your character, he's locked in, and they added a $2 appearance change.
Yeah,
they knew exactly what they were doing.
Yeah,
with this
and
choice.
it seems the writer here might have missed the mark in terms of is trying to you can ignore these or whatever else. But also, if there are things that you can ignore, why are they put there in the first place? They are there for a reason. They are there to turn the eye and kind of say, but I don't want to have to take my mountain, travel X amount of distance, whatever else. So I'm going to pay a couple of quid and buy 10 waystones just to save myself. Like that shouldn't. I've never played a open world game where that's been a thing where I've had to consider the idea that I don't have fast travel really unless I pay for it, which is crazy.
Yeah, it's the article makes an interesting point that like the game was designed a very specific way within the limited resources available, and that
it's still inexcusable to just like you can't delete this character. Like this is your character from now on.
Yeah, no, I'm not.
Imagine playing Baldur's Gate and like you make a barbarian and like he can only be a barbarian from like you can
the
only
whole
play
game.
the game as a barbarian. From now on.
But I think where you're about to come from in terms of they want it to be played in a certain way. It's designed to be played in this.
It's designed to be played in a certain way, but then like I always think about, what always comes to my mind in these things is my dad and video games. My dad was really into video games when I was a kid. He played a lot of Doom and like Duke Nukem and Wolfenstein and all that stuff. And then as I got into video games, as I grew up, he would kind of comment that the video games were too difficult for him. Like, or he wouldn't comment. They just would be too difficult for him. Like controlling multiple factors at once and this kind of thing. It's sort of he would always make the complaint being like, I don't have the time to like sink into learning these mechanics or learning these systems. And I think about someone like him in this situation where he's like, if I could throw a bit of money just to grease the wheels a bit and so I could play the game, I'll do it. I could see a business strategy behind the scenes being like, there's money on the table for people of a certain class and a certain
but that's not to me, that's not right. That's not okay.
Yeah,
like,
and they're also fishing for that kid that racks up in parents
credit. Because the thing about it is fine if you want to design a game and the players have the ability to play it like that. They can choose not to use the waystones, or
we can also choose not to play the fucking game.
Yeah.
My other big issue, because this game, Canadian dollars, 95 Canadian dollars.
I was gonna say they were saying it sounds like Charlie paid $80 for it.
Yeah, which is like after oh my god, exchange fees and all that, and it's 95 Canadian dollars all in. I don't know if that's before or after tax, but ridiculous. And the other issue is like Steam gets review bombed a lot, but a lot of the time it's warranted in situations like this. And there was an interesting one, and the review was like, I wish I had come here for the reviews and not went to some sort of website or trusted them because they have no fucking idea anymore. Like, I should have read like all the issues the people are having with this game. Yeah, I would have never bought it.
Because the thing about it is that most of the journalists that are writing for the likes of Kotaku or whatever else, they're getting codes for the game, so they're not having. At a first step, they're not initially taking that $70 or $95 out of their pocket, so that part isn't really affecting their judgment.
Consumer experience.
Exactly. So if I were to pay €70, $70, whatever it is here, probably €80, I think, if it's a PS, next gen game. But if I would pay €80 for a Dragon's Dogma game, and I realize that I'm a guy in my early 30s who's not as much time for video games as he had before, I'll probably spend a bit of time. I'd like to immerse myself and take my time traveling through the world as intended by the developers. Mm-hmm. But I also want the basic thing in an open world game that has existed since games got good was a way to fast travel around the world. And if you're telling me I have to pay for that in 2024, bullshit. Mm-hmm. Total another bullshit. The character stuff is an obvious attempt to, as you said, unless you know that you're gonna have to turn off cloud save and delete this manually and stuff like that. Unless
just
you know that do that.
Imagine like no new game option. Like,
that's a weird one for me. That's really
it clearly intentional because there's no way in testing someone was just like, oh, I can't create a new game.
But if you create do you have to pay to create a new game? Like if you create a new character, that doesn't start a new game, surely. It just changes.
No, like when you first boot up the game, you have no save file, so you have to create that save file. Mm-hmm. You cannot never delete, like from within the game, you cannot delete that save file, and you can never create a new one.
Do you have to beat the game and unlock like a new game plus?
I have no fucking idea. I don't know. If
but also that shouldn't be.
Sounds like they crash every 5 minutes, so nobody's.
It shouldn't be the case either. I think as well that if you don't like it's. Do you know what I mean? It's like ease of access stuff. If you create a character in a game, like Baldur's Gate is a great example. I played through a good chunk, and I didn't like my character as time went on. I was like, no, I think I made the wrong choice here. So I'm going to go back, new game, make a new character. Off I go. Easy peasy. Yeah, it's straightforward. It makes sense. It's how it should be.
Even if it was the option like new game, but like warning, you can only have one save, like Pokemon.
Yeah, exactly.
You can only have one save file. This will override. And you know what?
Fine.
That's fine with me. I don't need a million of these on the go. But like not having the option at all is I don't know. It's the stupidest thing ever.
Yeah. Strange. It is
and I guess just on top of that as well, it's a pity because I was kind of saying, I think I said to you, Luke, in our last episode that Dragon's Dogma 2 was something that was tempting me to play because I loved the first one. I was hooked on the first one when it came out. I was in college at the time. It was the only game I played for such a long time. But on that, I didn't bring up the other article because it is quite a heavy read. But one of the things I want to touch on, especially for you, Chris, as a PC player, like it's having so many problems with the port to the PC that people are finding it unplayable. But on your point, I'm interested to see why hasn't it gotten better? And this is kind of more of a general question.
I don't know why it's a port. Like it's not like it was a later release. It's not like they developed it first and then waited like a year to like. I played the game like Final Fantasy VII Remake. That was a fantastic port.
Yeah,
I came out like a year later. It was clearly a port. They just took their time with it. This one we got it on release. Capcom is claiming they're a PC first company now. Clearly not the fucking case. I don't know what happened here. Like absolute train wreck. But I also I don't know. I've just become a little numb to this side of releases because it just happens all the time. I'm just like, fuck.
But it's weird that it's.
I'll go back to Played Up and play those. Games I'm going to get more fun out of anyways.
Because I know that, and that was going to be my point. That like when you're playing on PC or Steam, there's a huge library out there that's bigger than any console will ever have.
Oh god, I just bought like 10 games because it was a Steam Spring Sale. Probably won't play like
no
8 of them.
You'll play one.
And they're just there, like, and they're like $2, $3. Yeah. You're just throwing like I bought like Warhammer Dawn of War, which is like the original like RTS.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Just like it was like $1.99 or something.
Of course you buy that.
It's going to sit in my library for
like
fucking ages.
Third of a coffee.
Yeah.
Which is way fucking. But it's just so disappointing that in some of these there's been lots of hiccups of late with the AAA games that are coming out for consoles having rubbish versions on PC. Is PC getting left behind a little bit in the AAA realm?
No,
because one of the quotes I read was that to play Dragon's Dogma 2 currently in the PC, you would need top end all aspects. Like they
that
dropped the
doesn't make
requirements.
sense. I don't understand because like the PlayStation and the Xbox aren't powerful hardware by any means. It's the most powerful console out there.
They're not cutting edge in terms.
They're
of
not even close to PC. So the fact that like my even more cutting edge PC just blows a PS5 out of the water. Just like, why can't I run this equivalent game? Like, what happened?
A really interesting thing, because I read about it, which I thought was like a mental decision, was that each NPC in Dragon Dogma 2 is being run separately, and each one takes up a certain amount of CPU to go through their motions. So when you step into a town or village in Dragon Dogma 2, your CPU apparently just goes into overdrive because it's having to, each one of them is individually affecting the CPU usage based off this article that I read, which I'll try and find or whatever again. But I kind of thought that just seems like from a making things, what's the word? From streamlining something to make it work properly, that just seems like a lazy or terrible decision, in that, like, if you want all these things to work individually in the game, that each thing is taking up CPU in the computer, surely you're
you know what, I didn't realize something like that was happening. This kind of makes me think, like, if they're going hardware specific, they could have just, like, their whole development suite could be something like NVIDIA, and they were doing it on NVIDIA CPUs that have this other extra, like, feature, and now, like, Moist Critical installs it on his AMD, and that's why it's crashing all the fucking time. I don't know if that's the case. This is just assumption at this point, but that is pretty common in PC, because it's like trying to run like an Xbox game on your PS5. They're just like
not compatible.
But the same. You'd have to imagine that Moist Critical has a top of the range.
Oh, absolutely.
GPU,
that guy
right?
is a
like,
fucking millionaire. Like, he clearly has the best of the best.
And he puts his money into games. So
I don't know you could probably pop on his Twitch and see, like, normally they list exactly what their PC is. So
yeah, weird one. That's a shame, because that was, like, you were really looking forward to Dragon's Dogma.
And you know, the microtransaction thing, kind of anytime I hear microtransactions, I always kind of squirm a little bit and think of EA, which I think are monsters in the industry.
I think microtransactions are great for free-to-play games.
Yeah,
those guys
free to play them, and the multiplayer experience as well, in terms of different
battle passes
skins
and stuff like that. Yeah. I'm perfectly fine.
But a single player experience shouldn't be in it.
You know what? Actually, fuck. Now I'm getting fired up. You know what's the craziest thing about this whole Dragon's Dogma and, like, how much money they're charging all these microtransactions? You know what came out this week? A new 1.6 patch for Stardew Valley. Absolutely free.
Loads more content.
Tons of new content. A new farm layout. A new end game mastery system for all your skills. New festivals. Shitload of new items.
That shit.
This guy just drops it out of nowhere. He's like, he just announced it in February. He's like, by the way, more shit's coming to Stardew.
I've been working on this,
and it's free.
That stuff happened. It's so fucking cool. Like, that happened with Shovel Knight back in the day. Did you ever play Shovel Knight?
Yeah.
It's like, it's beautiful, gorgeous little game. They released 3 DLCs for it, like 3 entirely new stories with you played as different characters with different mechanics, all free. If you bought Shovel Knight, you got all of these DLCs completely for free. It became the Shovel Knight Treasure Trove collection, and they just kept putting out stuff for free. And people were like, "Why are you doing this?" And they're like, "What do you mean? Why are we doing this?
We don't trust you. Is there malware in this? Like, why are you giving me free shit?"
Yeah. What am I signing off on here by playing this game?
Yeah, it's sick. It's really nice to see indie devs do shit like that, and really disappointing to see the bigger companies that are trying to justify.
Well, no, that's exactly what, like. Big corporate greed, man. That shit's real.
But also, I read an interesting article, and this isn't in coming into, like, the defense of this kind of level of greed, but people are saying now, with the current how expensive things are, etc., in making AAA games, that it's like we need to figure out a better way to do it. You're talking about, like, layoffs and everything like that, and companies, like, you think a game's doing incredibly well, successfully, but they're still not making any bang for their buck, really. The process needs to change, and this is obviously an effort by Capcom to be like, well, we need to squeeze an extra little bit out of this, because we're charging $80, 95 Canadian dollars, whatever, for this game, but it's been in a development cycle for 10 years. It's costing us fucking millions, and
we need to stop paying a year's salary for some guy who just, like, animates grass. Like, we need to tone it back with some of those approaches to games, I think, and just focus on, fun games.
Yeah, because the realism, that was a really good point at the end of the article that I read, that was focusing more on the PC side of things, and they were like, we need to make a decision, do we want the photorealism side of things in video games as much as that, or do we want them to be
even
fun
storage? Like, it's getting out of control. Like, 120 gigs for some of these games to install. Like,
well, speaking of your 120 gigs, now this isn't 120 gigs, but this is a fun story that broke my heart. This next one. So this is also coming from Kotaku by Kenneth Shepard and Star Wars Battlefront Collection, Classic Collection. Devs responded after abysmal launch. Aspire has put out a statement, but stopped short of apologizing or addressing wider issues.
This podcast is just depressing. All we're talking about is just
Sorry,
we need happy things.
But just on this one, I wanted to say, because I don't think it's mentioned in this article, but that game was a PS2 game. I don't know what size that might have been. Probably less than a gig back in PlayStation 2.
A couple of megabytes, maybe.
A couple of megabytes. It's something like 20 odd, 30 gigs, if not more. I'm going to actually research that since they brought this up.
I just bought the Halo Chief or Master Chief Collection to install everything that comes with it. 180 gigs.
Wait, that's 5 games, right? That's like 5 or 6
Well,
different
it's got
games.
reach and stuff. But even the original, Halo 2 being 30 gigs seems
a lot.
Excessive.
It's textures and polygons. That's what.
Is it a remastered collection?
It's a remaster.
Yeah,
okay. So there's
you have the original game and you press a button and it switches to the super HD.
Yeah,
and I think that's it. I don't think they've had a way to kind of compress it all. It's like we're just throwing this on top of everything that already exists. Yeah.
Thank God they give you the option to install them individually.
Yeah. That's
what a space.
Nice of them.
Or if you're like me and loves Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth, that's 150, 60 gigs for a single game you're never getting back. And then until you finish the game later. It's been great, Chris. I have zero regrets.
Well, I got that sweet gigabit internet. That's only like a 8-minute download or something.
Yeah, me too.
So on this article, the Star Wars Battlefront Classic Collection launched on March 14th, and it sounds like it's a bit of a mess. As of this writing, the compilation is mostly overwhelmingly negative user reviews on Steam, with only 19% of over 4,000 scores being positive. Fans are complaining of online server instability and crashing sessions, and after a day of controversy, developer Aspire has put out a statement. The Aspire team posted on the studio's support site claiming that it experienced critical errors in its network when the Classic Collection launched, and that the team has been working to fix these problems so players can actually play matches without being disconnected. The full statement reads as follows. We'd like to thank Battlefront community for their overwhelming support and feedback for the Star Wars Battlefront Classic Collection release. At launch, we experienced critical errors with our network infrastructure. The result was incredibly high ping, matchmaking errors, crashes, and service not appearing in the browser. Since launch, we've been working to address these issues and increase network stability, and we will continue our efforts until our network infrastructure is stabilized to prevent further outages. Please continue to report bugs, errors, or unexpected behaviors to our support team. Online games often experience server issues at launch and improve over time, but sometimes those server issues are inconsistent across the player base. Our writer, covering the Star Wars Battlefront Classic Collection, didn't experience server issues, but others clearly did. But server issues are not the only problem players are having with these remastered games. According to reviews and social media posts, there's lag, lost audio, and sluggish performance plaguing matches. Aspire's statement notably glosses over all of these problems in favor of prioritizing the most public issue of people not being able to play the game they bought. Aspire has worked on other Star Wars projects over the years, and this is the latest example of the studio fumbling the bag. The team's Knight of the Old Republic 2 remaster was the subject of a lawsuit after it failed to put out promised DLC, and the team has taken off the Knights of the Old Republic remake, which was given to one of publisher Saber Interactive's internal studios. Saber Interactive and some of its studios were sold by its owner in video game industry, Gaping Maw Embracer Group, on March 14th, though it still maintains ownership of Aspire. This breaks my heart because if I were to put in if we were to make a list of the most, maybe not like my favorite games of all time, but the most fun games I ever played, Star Wars Battlefront 2, playing that with my brothers back in the day, was a joy of a game. Pure fun. Just pure and utter fun.
Battlefront or like...
Yeah, the one
online kind of like massive 64 against 64 or 32 versus 32.
It wasn't even online. Like we just played it like as a 2-player on the same
Battlefront.
team.
Yeah, Star Wars Battlefront was online, wasn't it?
The old one for the PlayStation 2 when it originally came out, I think there was an online option. But you're talking PlayStation 2, it didn't have online capabilities back in the day.
Xbox, original Xbox. So Xbox Live would have existed. There would have been online play. It probably wasn't great. I think I did play it online. But yeah, I think the majority of people's experience was to play it offline.
Oh, okay. Well,
yeah,
I might be thinking of something else then.
There is so this is the old collection back from whatever 2000 PlayStation 2 era, but they did do like they rebooted it and it wasn't that successful in the other ones. That was the big ones.
That might be what I'm thinking of.
The EA ones from
the EA ones
2014 or something.
Yeah.
Which weren't they were a microtransaction hell actually. Those ones. EA.
Always is.
But this is the saddest thing.
Was that the full article though? Because
that's all that's there. Yeah.
Because maybe I misheard, but I thought I read that they also have stolen mod content. Like people modded the old Battlefronts and now that's in this game.
Oh,
Like, yeah, and the modding community's pissed because their work is just like now
Being
monetized,
taken and sold, by big.
Yeah.
Darren's
Which
on
I thought for sure that's the most heated topic. Like, straight up stealing
just
another
robbing
developer's work.
their shit.
Darren's on the ones and
Which
twos
modders,
trying to
I
put
don't
up an
think
article.
modders have any sort of
Oh,
maybe they do.
Here we
Maybe
go.
they do.
This is an article from 80 level, I think, and it's who's it by here, just so I don't.
Some live journalism, ladies and gentlemen.
Gloria Levine. Okay.
Yeah, what is it? It's like the Joe Rogan podcast, the guy that pulls up everything.
Yeah.
Jamie, pull that up.
yeah.
So fans who got excited for Star Wars Battlefront Classic Collection were devastated by the game's disastrous launch. Blah blah blah. I'll just kind of go through it and see if there's anything. If the team thought it was the end of their troubles, they were mistaken. A modder called I Am a Shyman, it's all one word, it's really hard to, it's all one word, sorry, was surprised to see their mod for Battlefront 2 first in the trailer and then in the game itself. Aspire told IGN that the collection does not include any code or content that is taken from uncredited sources, but fans found evidence of the Assage Ventress from the mod. Developers soon removed the pieces of someone else's work, but it's a bit too late now. So it was there and they removed it. Fucking hell.
Mental.
Assage Ventress was in a DLC from the original game. I guess this modder like changed the textures or changed how the character played or something like that, and that's what ended up in there was like 2 DLC for the original Battlefront, I think. One of them was this like Sith temple where on the clone side you could play as Anakin, and on the droid side you could play as Assage Ventress. But I guess it's a mod of that was copped and
So it says maybe Aspire's as bad at deleting stuff as I Am a Shyman also found their work in the Nintendo Switch version. Quote, seriously Aspire, I'm beginning to feel insulted. Nintendo Switch launched with just straight up all my hero stuff from my mod. Same glitches and bugs. We've data mined it and it's the exact same files, just using proper lightsaber attack animations.
Cool. That's
damn
caught red-handed.
And it's the funniest thing is actually, sorry, this isn't Capcom anymore because Capcom is super anti-mod to the point where, like, yeah, we've gone over that. They've installed all sorts of DRM to prevent it. But, imagine a company just getting caught stealing someone else's work. Crazy. I don't know if modders can have any legal recourse to defend themselves though, because they're modding.
Because it's modding some other work that already exists, I guess.
I don't know
but
how
it's still like, I mean, if
it's shady as fuck.
Shady
they
as
should
fuck,
have recourse for it. Like they should,
or at least just give a nod. Like if you've got no legal rights to own, at least give a nod to say, a shout out to Thingy for making this mod that we've included in the game, or anything like that, or just ask the person. I'm sure they could get a team to.
But then what if they say no, Darren?
Yeah, we want this. It's bullshit, man. I loved this game as a kid, and everything's getting ruined. My nostalgia's getting stabbed in the heart.
Welcome to the Gift of Gaming News podcast, where we ruin your childhood.
Yeah. That's all I have for the main episode, guys. Nothing but bad news.
Womp womp.
Womp womp, ruining my childhood.
Heartbreaker.
Thank you guys so much. We're gonna do another piece or two in our post show after this.
Just us talking to psychiatrist.
The industry's dead. But yeah, thank you so much for popping on with me. And to our listeners, if you're interested in more content, patreon.com/thegiftofgaming for the price of a coffee a month. Loads of extra content there. Give it a look. Luke, thank you so much. Chris, thank you so much. And to our listeners, as always and forever, keep enjoying the gift that is gaming. Peace out.